Hi and welcome back. You have already learned about the fundamentals of input-output analysis. Because it has such a clear mathematical framework, there are many analytical techniques that we can apply with an input-output model. In this course, we want you to learn about 3 techniques in particular. The first one is called production layer decomposition. Imagine a typical product supply chain, for example, for a piece of furniture. Timber is grown in a forest plantation and harvested by a logging company. Then it's transported by truck to a sawmill factory where it is cut into pieces. Then the cut timber is trucked again to a manufacturer who produces the furniture, which is then transported to a wholesale company and then onto a retail company before the final consumer buys the piece of furniture. So this is a long typical supply chain. Each company in this production chain is part of what we can call a production layer. With input-output analysis, it is possible to quantify the environmental or social impacts from each of these layers. For example, from all the transport companies, from all the manufacturers, or from all the retailers. It is actually possible to follow individual production or supply chains. And this is the second method that you will learn about. It is called structural path analysis. In essence, this is very similar to the cradle-to-gate life cycle assessment of a specific product. The third method you will learn about is called mixed unit input-output analysis. And this is simply a model where some of the financial transactions in an input-output table are replaced with physical flows and units. So for example, with kilowatt hours for electricity or tons of concrete. This is a useful improvement of input-output models to avoid any potential bias when the price for a particular product is uncertain or if the product cannot be measured in monetary units. This is the case for many waste flows, for example, because they are not really valued in money terms. In the practical exercises of this course, you will apply some of these analytical techniques. Please do. Thank you for watching.